Carol Lee through the decades.
Now we are talking about eyebrows. And one of the most important things, how do we choose eyebrow color? Well, if you'll notice, Angel's hair color is a dark blonde. So the eyebrows, therefore, have to match the hair. Otherwise, if these are too dark, this would dominate the whole face. So this, even if you highlight or color your hair, you want the roots to be the same color as the eyebrows. If you go light all over, it's not as attractive. This is a personal opinion, but it's not as attractive. It can get a little cheap looking if there's nothing darker at the roots to match the eyebrows. So there we go. Now, to raise, we did this brow. Now we're going to do this one. You can see the frame on her, how nicely this frames her eye. So we'll do a little fill in this area, in the light blonde, and you end up there. Now, if you were to go U-shape, that would not be the look that you want. You want this pointing in this direction, not down. Because that makes her look angry. Now see here where there's a little space, we're going to fill in there. In her lift comes the outer edge of the iris, and we lift there. Now what's really good to do is have a powder brow in the same color, and we lightly go over the base of the brow. Lift here, fill in a little, and see how that goes up and out. So the idea of the brows are to fill in where there's no hairs. So see, it begins there and it ends there. That's the line. So then you want to, it's always better to use a little translucent, loose powder, which you can find any place. Just make sure it's translucent. That goes for all skin tones. And you lightly roll it along the brow. You don't want to get any on the lashes. You just roll it along. Typically, mascara is the very last thing that you do. But today we've been doing segments, and we did those before. So see how that lightens up the brow. And if it's still not light enough, if it's accented too much, just put a little more. Then, the next video will be about highlighting the eyebrow. So we take the light powdered shadow, and it goes right underneath. Now here's a mistake people make with this. They go all the way across with the light, and that makes it too puffy. So it's very important to go just right underneath the lift. Don't go in that area at all, because we just added depth to that with the darker shadow. So this goes right underneath. Just blend that and see how that, I'm leaving it a little bit stronger so that you can see it. See how that opens up the eye. When you have the light here, everything is open. There you are. And remember, we put the light here also, on the corner in the center of the lid. The same light. So that is essentially the best way to do brows. Some people do things, they'll do a black line that goes like this, especially when they tattoo. For some reason, people who tattoo eyebrows want to go zoom like that. That's not the look. It has to integrate with the shape of the eye. Doesn't go outside and do a U shape. Eyebrows are so important, and people sometimes don't put enough emphasis on where to start, begin, and lift. And the color is probably one of the most important parts of it. So there we are for the brows. She's all done.